You are now listening to Harlequin Radio. Hello, monsters, and welcome to the Haus of Delusion, your go-to Lady Gaga podcast. What you just heard is a snippet from Gaga's next album, Harlequin, which will be the major discussion topic for today. But before we dive in, as you know, I'm Billy, and as always, Cal and Bling are here to help me dive into the latest news, rumors, and theories surrounding Lady Gaga, Joker FAD, and LG6.5 and LG7.
That was my line. I wanted to say Lady Gaga 6.5. But anyway, hashtag secret project has been revealed, and it's coming really soon. And I don't think any of us were anywhere near being right about what it was and when it was coming. So I'm really hyped and I'm really excited. Bling, what about you?
I am also super excited. Hi, everyone. It's Bling. So 2024 Truthers Unite. Yay, we did it, kids. I'm crying. Today, we've got a ton to tackle, including all of Gaga's latest cryptic teasing, revealing Joker interviews, and Gaga's new album, Harlequin, of course. So let's get into it.
Yep, I'm screaming, crying, throwing up, and eating mac and cheese. And there's a lot to cover today. A lot. So don't forget to join the conversation on our social media channels. Follow us on Twitter by searching @Haus of Delulu, on YouTube by typing @Haus of Delusion, and of course, join our community on Discord by typing discord.gg/Haus of Delulu. Now, let's kick things off with today's episode.
All right, so September the 20th is where we're going to be starting off with all of today's news. And on that day, Lady Gaga posted something kind of cryptic on her Instagram. It was the words, "I'm ready for my interview," on a red background. And the words were the same font as her Harlequin Radio t-shirt that we talked about her wearing in the prior episode to this one. So it's like, this might be a hint to something. And on top of that, there's some Australian radio host that I had not heard of, but you can tell from my accent I'm not Australian, so don't hate me, named Smallzy. And Smallzy teased that there would be a big in-person Gaga interview coming the following week, so which means the week that we're recording this particular episode. And we don't know if they're related, at least on the 20th of September, but I think they might be.
Yeah, so basically, I can't even remember what time it was because she's been posting at all these different times, but she posts this, "I'm ready for my interview" post. No caption, no emoji, anything. Everyone's freaking out. We don't know if she's literally talking about an interview. We don't know if it's a lyric, a song title. So we're all freaking out. And then this Smallzy person I've never heard of mentions that Gaga's going to have a radio takeover, which is happening Thursday the 26th. And he says it's going to be huge and she's going to be in person. So at this point, we're just kind of going into our normal chaos.
Yeah, it was interesting because we were speculating that it was just some pre-Joker release like generic interviews, and we're like, oh yeah, no, just she's doing the promo standalone here for the film, so it's all her. But of course, as you'll later hear, and I'm sure as you're all aware, it really transitioned into a lot more than just that.
It did. And also on the 20th of September, an alleged Joker soundtrack track list was posted on the Blue Bird website. And, it's all covers of mostly jazz or show tune kind of songs. So it's stuff like, Bewitched, or That's Entertainment, or I've Got the World on a String, or That's Life. I think the only thing that's supposed to be new is Folie, Deux, which we already knew about as Gaga's self-written thing, which may or may not even have words. But it was just nice to kind of see it all laid out, possibly.
I definitely think there's this sort of recurring commentary within the fan base of like, oh, it's just going to be covers, or oh, it's just, jazz music. And I don't know, I am still super hyped because just seeing like not to say you were saying that, but it's just been this ongoing thing that I've noticed. And I don't know, I just, based on the headspace she's in, and judging from the previous Joker film, even though they're covers, I feel like it's going to be completely different than what we're expecting. And I'm super hyped for it all.
Yeah, and like I was saying on the Discord as well, I know that there are fans who are upset that they're covers, even though they've never heard the songs anyway. So
Right.
for as much as they know, they're original songs. So
right.
It's like, okay, whatever. So on the 21st of September, Body Ya Dancing in September, Lady Gaga posts another cryptic words on background Instagram post that says, "Don't tell me what to wear." And along with that, she posts to her Insta stories of herself in a very kind of 1950s French inspired sort of outfit. As you already know, if you've listened to this podcast for a while, I know jack shit about fashion, but that's what it looks like to me. There's like high-waisted pants and suspenders and a kind of big beret thing, so that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, it's been interesting because, that was posted, and again, we're like, are these lyrics? Is this a song? Obviously, throughout her career, she's been challenging like what people think she should wear. And number one, I mean, she looks stunning, but number two, she's been kind of over the years been playing with wearing menswear. And so I don't know, I love it. I feel like if you want to read into it, it's kind of like commentary on gender roles and stuff like that. And it's just wild to me. Like, she can be sexy, she can be stylish, she can be more muted like this. So truly a chameleon, really.
Yeah, she can be sexy, she can be confident, she can be so intelligent.
Right.
I'm gunning for that award, apparently. Do you have anything, Billy?
Serving train conductor realness.
Someone said it looks like she's about to sell newspapers for a quarter.
Exactly. Exactly.
Extra, extra, Harley Quinn released.
Extra Titanic sinks. It's that time period. Anyway, so the evening of the 21st, Gaga appears at a Los Angeles Joker Folie de press screening and shares some popcorn with people, answers questions. And the way that she came to this event, what she's wearing, what she's dressed up like, is so like 2010, 2011 Gaga.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of floored me. Like I was thinking to myself that she wouldn't dress quite like this again. And then she walked in head to toe in black, looking unhinged with big frizzy platinum blonde hair. And I'm like, oh, we are so back. We are so back.
Yeah, there's so much going on. I mean, number one, she's self-referencing. Number two, I mean, she literally looks like she stepped out of like French Vogue. And what she's wearing is, with the sleeves and the collar, I don't know the terminology, but it's similar to like what a jester or it's definitely just on brand for the type of character. Again, terminology would be a lot better, but it was hilarious because she walked in offering people popcorn, and it was just like the most hilarious way to like break down that barrier and make an entrance.
Yes, just the first of many iconic gifs from the past couple of days.
Yes, someone had changed it. Instead of her throwing out popcorn, she's like throwing out content and music releases.
Yes, yes. Now, she did talk a little bit before the actual movie was screened, and so she said that she would do anything for love, and so would Lee, and that darkness healed her. And also, she likes exploring the dark arts and music, which is what we're hoping for in LG7. But, not a whole lot of talking, but I think the key takeaway is that she would do anything for love, but she won't do that.
What I found interesting about this is when she was saying like the dark arts informed her. Number one, I mean, that's just candy to our ears, like her being in dark, which I think alluded also to LG7, including Harlequin as well too. But when she said music, she did film, fashion, photography, makeup, music, and when she did music, she did this little smirk. So I don't know. It was just one of those like, okay, she's fucking with us moments.
The fact that she said she goes to another level when it's dark, which creates a war with inside herself, that kind of got me thinking how LG6 Chromatica was she was fighting through the pain, the trauma, the darkness. And then it seems like now that she's embracing it, this is her basically like, hey, no, I can live with this, you know?
Yeah, as we go on, she's kind of hinting at this theme of like this play between two sides and duality, which, we have our theories on. So I'm super excited to dive into everything.
Big hype.
Speaking of diving into everything, so we were all reeling from her previous interviews. So on September 22nd, she posted again. This time the post again with that weird writing font, whatever, saying no duct tape, no mission. With a music snippet this time, which sounds a lot like Creep by Radiohead. And this is where I started building this thing of like, okay, are we getting like grunge pop? Is this, at this point we had no idea what was happening. And there was this joke. Someone said that no duct tape, no mission was like every drag queen's mantra. What did you guys think of that in the post? I mean, in the music.
Yeah, no, Creep by Radiohead was the very first thing that came to my head when I saw the notification. And then immediately went to the Discord server. And yeah, looks like my thought was kind of corroborated by all the other LMs.
What did I think? This is going to really be embarrassing to admit to hundreds of people listening. When I saw no duct tape, no mission, it reminded me of a clip from Trixie and Katya's YouTube show, where they say, no bra, no panties. I don't know why that's what came to my head, but I just admitted that, and I'm going to have to live with that decision for the rest of my life.
It's out there for all to hear now, Cal.
Yes. But hey, at least I didn't say that first. Trixie and Katya did. And they're drag queens, and it's sort of related to what Bling saw. So it all ties together.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's move on, please.
So the same day, we started getting a lot. So Supervillain from ATRL, who had previously teased that LG7 was complete and submitted, posted, quote, happy mistake, period. Lady Gaga Harlequin, period. And in a separate post later that day, happy mistake is part of the secret project. So we're again sent into chaos, because at this point we have no idea what this secret project is, and we had been, for over a year wondering what the hell this secret project is. And so now we sort of have some kind of insider hinting at what it could be. What's interesting about this tea is that in addition to this, Supervillain was trying to make a thread on ATRL, or I'm sorry. Oh, yes. Supervillain was trying to make a thread called Happy Mistake Lady Gaga on ATRL, and it was merged, I guess, with Write or Die's thread. And Supervillain commented, now why did the threads get merged? ... ATRL doesn't deserve any tea, I guess.
Call him out, girl.
It was kind of this like breaking the fourth wall moment where the insiders were kind of like going back and forth. I don't know. It was just interesting. In addition to that content, Benjamin Rice, who we all know previously worked with Gaga on A Star Is Born, Chromatica, Hold My Hand, etc., posted the no duct tape, no mission post on his stories. So either he just likes it or perhaps he worked on it. So I don't know about you guys, but I was like getting ready for bed. It was like 11:40 p.m. at night for me, and I'm checking my phone, and Mr. S, another ATRL insider, who previously was the first to post the Lady Mars look from Die With a Smile, he posts coming soon this week in reference to new Gaga music. And everyone is like, what is going on? Like, it was just even more chaos. You know, I'm about to go to bed and I'm like, how am I supposed to sleep right now? Did you guys see that or experience that at all? Or
Well, it was 2 or 2:30 in the morning for me, so no.
I don't remember that day. I mean, I don't really remember yesterday either, but I do remember you talking about it the same night.
Yeah.
okay, cool. So we're all super hyped. Next, we're going to get into our Joker interview section. So basically, we went through and we watched all of or most of the Joker interviews and tried to just pull the most noteworthy information. Personally, I think it will give us insight into not only her character, but into the album Harlequin. So in one of the interviews, someone asked the moment when Stephanie became Gaga. And she says, it was when, quote, something really bad happened to me as a kid, which made her create a persona, and this informed her character. So Harley comes from a broken place within Lee, and this movie is, quote, the beginning of her. She says that because the interviewer had asked her, what of Gaga or what have we seen is the real you? And she says, it's all the real me. She again mentions playing with artifice, as she had in the Vogue article. She says, quote, I'm sure it's not secret why I was interested in making this movie. Having an alternate personality that protects you is so much of what Joker is about. Arthur, Joker, Lee, Harley, they're both all of it too. And that's part of the tension within this film, watching that war at play. So like Billy had just said, there's this ongoing internal battle. And to me, it kind of speaks to the world that we know of ourselves versus the world that we, or the version of ourselves that we present to the world. Like in every given person, there's always some kind of dichotomy in that way. Continuing with the interviews, so someone asked her what Harley would say when she ran into Bruce Wayne or Batman, and she said eerily that she'd probably light him on fire.
Oh my God.
Not sure if that was alluding to a scene in the movie, but we'll see.
Gaga's an arsonist.
A reporter asked her when did she realize music made her whole, because there's this scene from a movie where someone says that, and she says and super fans will know this, when she wrote her first song called We'll Find a Way to Love Again at 13 and sang it, was the first time she felt whole from music. Because she felt so different, she healed herself through the arts, music, songwriting, and acting, much like anyone in the LGBTQ community does, or any kind of outcast does. She says the singing and performing style in Joker opened her up, but says that Lee is a very broken person and she finds her power in her love of Joker. She says that Lee had to be Joker's match and she had to match Joaquin on set. In an interview with Joaquin, he says, upon meeting Gaga, the conversations he had with her regarding the characters were effortless. He and Todd agreed that Gaga was Arthur's match and they were very lucky to have her on set. Closing out, so we've had this ongoing theory with duality, black and white, good and evil, with all these LG7 teases throughout the year. And it's interesting to me because she made a point to talk about dual identities in one of the interviews. She says that since she was a kid, she's had a very complicated relationship with dual identities. And since Joker deals a lot with dual identity and sense of self, she felt her fans deserve to see the film before other people. The people at the screening, I don't know if they were part of like an LGBTQ like writing group or something, but if you look at the video, people had on like Chromatica hoodies and stuff like that. So the people that were in this screening were already Gaga fans. But she continues and says that Lee means so much to her, and she feels she's been playing some version of, quote, a broken bird her entire career, a Thousand Doves reference. She says that Lee is different and feels she put parts of her most private self into the character, quote, someone that is standing on really shaky ground.
Continuing on with the interview segments from Joker, Gaga says that they spent a lot of time talking about Lee's voice, and she tried to use her voice like a paintbrush, and that lines are blurred throughout the film as far as what is fantasy and what is reality. Kind of gives me Bloody Mary vibes there.
Yeah.
She says that she had to always try new things, always try to get the truth of each scene, but never in the same way. and it had to find it with Joaquin. She says that what she found most in Lee was the chaos within her. Chaos can have its outward moments, but it also having the feeling like you need to explode, yet you become quiet. She wanted to create a complex woman. A funny moment from the interview was when an interview showed her the cryptic Insta posts that we were talking about earlier, and they asked what it was for. She went silent and smirked and said, "It's a secret." And when she got to the heart of who Harley was, she was really scared. She says the fear that we have can propel us into our own madness, and that love is its own version of insanity.
Ain't that the truth?
Jinx.
Oh my God.
So there was a lot of talking and a lot of kind of stuff brought out from these interviews and kind of within her character and kind of, I guess, in her mindset right now. So yeah, all that stuff is really interesting, at least.
Yeah, I find it interesting because I feel like she's not only been using using LG7 teases and stuff with a lot of the same commentary, but it also seems like it's gonna take place in Harlequin and the film too. So it's kind of this thing she's been communicating with us for a long time, it seems.
Mm-hmm. The next day, on September 23rd, Supervillain came back and said that the music will be released under Lady Gaga's name, but she created a new label imprint for it called Harlequin PS. And we don't know what that means. Do you guys have any insight to that?
Not yet, no.
Yeah.
There's no theories or anything yet.
It's just like a separate, someone was saying maybe she made a separate thing outside of Interscope so that she could release new music in the future without being associated with Interscope, because it's under like Little Monsters Inc. or something.
Oh, yes, yeah.
I mean, the only guess I would have is that PS is literally like PS for a letter.
Mm-hmm.
Like she was supposed to be done with Harlequin after filming the movie and she wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
So this project is like Harlequin PS, like it's the rest of the stuff she had to say, and that became the project.
Yeah. That same day, Supervillain also posted just the words "world on a string," which we will get onto later in this episode here. And then the member Bandito on ATRL, they posted new song, The Joker, 2 minutes and 52 seconds, and that he ran the snippets through a music recognition bot and confirmed the 2 song titles and track lengths. And the screenshot featured the album called The Joker as well. We know that's not called The Joker anymore, but it was still interesting how the track length and some names came up.
I just wanted to mention that we also know that The Joker is not a new song as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Bandito needs to learn his 1960s Broadway musicals, just like the rest of us.
And as of that day, the tracks named so far were Happy Mistake, World on a String, and The Joker, with their song links attached to that. And then continuing on, there was a Joker interview with Entertainment News. And in here, I'll just highlight a few points. Gaga said, "I always tried every night that I went home to leave Harley at work," she explained. "The character tries to creep in all serious ways, but I really tried to drop it." She elaborated more. "Some people would love to hang out with Harley."
Some people, huh?
Yeah. Would you hang out with Harley?
Oh, it since we've seen her in films before and her struggle to drop characters, it seems like she is doing a much better job, like for her own mental health.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I think she's taking this, I don't know if it's an issue with dropping characters, but she's spinning it in a way that's healthy for her.
For sure.
We get good things out of it. We all do. It's a win-win-win-win-win.
And then with more interviews, this time with a person named Scott Evans, Gaga said there could be 100 people in the room, but 99, never mind, I'm kidding. She said that she learned how to unsing, which I think is the equivalent of 100 people in the room this time.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But she tried to stay away from things that felt very natural to her and create something completely new. This implied that Lee sings different in Arthur's fantasies. And when asked about LG7 from Mr. Evans, she said that she's in a completely creative place and she's able to create very freely.
Which basically tells us nothing.
Yeah.
Yes, I was about to say that's a very nothing answer.
Yeah. But we did get more that same day too with another Instagram post. This time the weird font that said "Moon dust gets everywhere," which was another cryptic post with a new snippet. What did you guys think of that snippet?
So this snippet as well as the first one both seemed like the beginning of a song. So there's not much to say other than it still gives like dark, eerie, kind of grungy alternative vibes. So yeah, I was more excited for the kind of like Chromatica Ball Moon Dust connection.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, sorry, I'm like skipping, but basically at the beginning of the Chromatica Ball film, the moon explodes, and all this stuff goes everywhere. And then also, if you listen to our podcast, you know that we have a moon theory going on of all these moon references. And she talked about the moon a couple times during the Chromatica Ball. And it seems like we're finally getting some kind of matchup here. So our Delulu is actually leading somewhere, apparently.
It is truly Delulu leading. Deluiding. Yes, anyway.
That snippet honestly reminded me of like an old Western. It was kind of like Joanne, but take it further back in time.
Yeah, it's kind of Sinner's Prayer.
Yeah. That guitar in there was just very twangy, like I can even sound like a guitar. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. You should cover Sinner's Prayer next.
Don't copyright strike me, please.
All right. So later at 2:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the 23rd of September, LG6.5, the special project, was officially revealed.
Yay!
Yay! Woo! So I'm guessing this is New York and Los Angeles. But pictures surfaced of electronic billboards in those two places with LG 6.5 handwritten in red, just over and over and over and over, along with some kind of more kind of cryptic imagery with some portions ripped out of them.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Charming.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, you also, I love how you made sure to do it into the mic too.
I literally turned my head away and it was a small burp. And then I moved my head back and then another one came out.
So Billy's thoughts, we already know. They're basically... So, well, another thing that we noticed in the very awesome billboards finally announcing the secret project is the red hair. And we also have been thinking, okay, what does red hair have to do with stuff? Because Gaga was sometimes wearing like red hair with the flowery Amish girl dress. And I'm like, well, this is LG7, it might be. And I guess we have an answer for some of that at some point. Now at 3 p.m. that day, so about
wait. I'm sorry. We gotta really dive into this. This was huge.
It was huge, yeah.
So it was so chaotic. So we're just like casually talking in the Discord, and then all of a sudden, when people start typing in all caps, something is happening. And it was like someone just said billboards, and we're all like, what? So all these images start coming through, and it's like LG 6.5, LG 6.5, and we're like, what the is LG 6.5? And I had actually texted Billy about something else, like server related, and then in all caps I just go, alert, 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 LG 6.5 billboards, pop emergency. And he says in all caps, screaming, crying, and eating mac and cheese, help.
I was making lunch and I already had like unread notifications from you earlier, and I was like, yeah, I'll hop on my computer, get back to you later. And then I just saw like more dings and I was like, okay, it, I'll respond. And then I was like, oh shit, what the
Yeah, this was a huge day for us. We've been waiting so long for any type of announcement or confirmation. And I mean, this was so huge for us. And I really want to stress that like we have finally arrived to leave the Chromatica era, and now we're in the LG 6.5 era. So sorry to interrupt you, Cal. I was just this is huge.
No, you're right. It shouldn't have gone that quickly.
And like, I need to add here too as well. Like what's the word I'm looking for here? Gaga has been teasing us for so long, and in the past she's teased us, and we've had to wait whatever amount of time. But when I first looked at these after logging on, I was just like, is this Chat GPT like photo add-on there? Graphic design is my passion, made by a little monster. At first, I was like, yeah, no, this is just not real. And then everyone else is like, it's real. And I was like, okay, let me get hyped now.
It's shock, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, disbelief almost. Like,
Yeah.
Disbelief, skepticism.
Skepticism, yeah. I didn't believe that this day would ever come.
I still don't believe it.
And then it just happened out of the blue at a random 2:15 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And it was just, damn, here we are. Officially, new music has been announced.
And it ain't even LG7.
6.5. We're halfway there, I guess. Maybe another 4 years.
Oh, well, yeah, please. Anyway.
Continue.
Yeah. So at 3 p.m. that day, so about 45 minutes after these pictures of the electronic billboards hit the webs, there was a further cryptic Instagram post with a music snippet. This one said, "Still not October." So that's very pointed. What did we think of this particular snippet, and what do we think it means?
Well, I should elaborate again, is that post and the music in that post, that's the music used in the beginning of this podcast episode here.
It is.
So, and that's my favorite one out of the three that she posted. Like that one, it just sounds amazing. I've wanted this genre from her for so long, and we're going to get into it later when we have the vocals on that too. But even that instrumentation on its own stands so strong as a solid kind of alternative rockish song. And I've listened to it probably over 1,000 times on repeat. And, it's so heavenly.
Yeah, it's clean, it's balanced. It just like what when I heard this, number one, I was like, oh, finally some upbeat, like, I like all different kind of genres, and I can definitely like, bop or dance to more rock influenced stuff. So I was obsessed with it. And then when she sang "Still Not October," I was like, oh my God, is she putting up these billboards and then we have to wait like even longer? But as we now know, that was not the case. But yeah, this was definitely my favorite snippet for sure.
What did you think of it, Cal?
I really did like it, and then like you alluded to, we didn't have to wait very long to get the version with vocals. Oh, wrong song. Okay. So for this next thing, do you remember where it was from? Is it another interview of some sort?
Yeah, it was like a random additional Joker interview.
All right. So then there was this random additional Joker interview.
I did everything by how it comes in. Like everything is chronological. So
yeah, yes. So whoever did this particular interview, we love you. You're an icon. But she being Gaga, said that she felt very free making LG7 and all the music that she had been working on, and she realized that she could take more risks than she's already taken. She loved celebrating things within the character of Lee because she felt privately ashamed of those same things personally. So it's almost like this is a personal aside. It almost felt like this character was like a match made in heaven for her to be able to access things that she's been trying to avoid herself and be able to express them in an artistic way and get it out there through kind of a different lens and be able to work through it. So
like catharsis.
Good. Yes, catharsis. Good for you, girl.
Word of the day.
She says that she brought this to her studio album as well to create something unapologetic. So this was the first time that we had heard studio album. So it's like, okay, LG6.5 studio album. More hype.
Okay, so September 24th, which as of this recording was yesterday. So I wake up, I'm in bed and I'm on my phone on the Discord. And as you guys know, we do countdowns, and we typically count down to like 9 a.m. Pacific time, which is when the announcements normally are. So it was like 9 on the dot, and people are like, "Ugh, not again. Well, it's over." And I was literally typing, you guys, none of her posts have been at 9, so the countdowns are useless. And in the middle of my text, everyone starts freaking out. And they're like, oh my God, it's been announced. companion, like all this stuff, all these images started coming through, and I'm getting goosebumps again, like reliving it. But it was just like this, like Billy was saying, this complete disbelief moment. And I won't get too much into that, but just this week has been so amazing for us, and I'm so happy for our fan base and our server and everything. Album cover. So we see Gaga, and she had announced the project is Harlequin. It's a companion album to Joker, and the Harlequin font is the same as the "You're listening to blah 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 radio" T-shirt that she had worn before. So our theories were correct. She's standing in the shower, facing away from the shower with it hitting her head. She's got on a life saver, or like, what would you call that? Like a life ring?
Life vest?
Life vest, life ring,
preserver.
whatever, around her neck. And obviously she's facing the camera. And I just want to say, like, obviously we're going to deep dive into this later, but there's so much to look at here. Like, number one, she's wearing a life vest or lifesaver, yet she's standing in the shower. So it's like this whole needing to feel safe when there's no threat of danger. And her face, like one side of her face is one type of makeup, one side of her face is the other, again with the duality. In my opinion, it's one of, if not her best covers. What did you guys think of just the announcement and the standard cover?
Well, I was laughing because I was counting down with a bunch of people too, as we usually do. And I remember Jenny was there, and whatever, Jenny was like, yeah, 1 minute left. And then 10 o'clock my time rolled around, and then she was like, shucks, not those words exactly. And then 10 seconds later, she was like, wait, she posted. And I was like, liar. And then whatever, then someone else was like, yeah, she posted. And then another person, I was like, screw it, I'll check myself. And there it was. I was like, this bitch.
I mean, I wasn't like super around the past couple of days, but I mean, when this happened, I looked and I perused. I did not really engage with the chaos, but I watched the chaos with popcorn. And yeah, this album cover, I think because like Bling mentioned, she has two different sets of makeup on one half of her face and one on the other half of her face. And I'm pretty sure her right-hand side is Harley, and her left-hand side, slightly closer to the camera, is Gaga herself. So it's almost like by standing under the shower, like Bling said, it's almost like she needs this life preserver because it's so traumatizing and so much, even though there's such little stimulus. But the water above her head is going to melt off both of their makeup and merge them together. So it's almost like this is traumatic for me, but I'm kind of merging with this character, and that's what this album is. It's really me accessing myself through the character, even though it's been causing me a lot of secret turmoil for quite a long time. And now this is who I'm going to become. That's how I interpreted it.
We also need to shout out to the German monsters, who we never had any video or photo evidence of this, but a month ago, when the Die With A Smile pop-up shops went around the world there, the Berlin monsters were like, oh yeah, there's random clips popping up of mannequins in life preservers. And we're kind of like, oh, cool. Or like, what does that mean? Or like, hey, that's not real. Kind of whatever. All mixed reactions all around the board. And well, here it is. I mean, she's not a mannequin, but it's Lady Gaga with a life preserver.
Yeah. And the last thing I want to say about this cover is that someone had posted that when she had worked on American Horror Story, she had said that Angela Bassett told her to get rid of the character. She needed to metaphorically like shower that character off. And so I just found that theory or that connection very interesting. I don't know. I think this is one of, if not her best covers. It says so much. Do you guys want to jump into the alternate cover? Because there's a lot to cover there too.
Well, I was going to say the alternate cover is my favorite out of the two.
Well, which one?
Wait, let me scroll and look at these.
There's a number of them.
The art pop one is the back. So the only other cover is the one.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Okay, yeah. No, the one where she's laying in the bed with all of the kind of 90s memorabilia all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one. And then it also, that cover fits the vibe of the Still Not October snippet. I don't know. I just look at that cover and I hear that song playing in my head.
Yeah. Well, and I for so long have been wanting, I love when Gaga self-references. And so in this cover, she's laying on the bed. It looks like she's like, happily stretching or whatever, but all over the room. I mean, it looks like any typical teenage girl's or young woman's room, in my opinion, because I've lived with women. But there's just stuff everywhere, and there's all these Easter eggs. Like there's a Joanne World Tour videotape with a sledgehammer next to it. There's ballet tights, which is like a Marry the Night reference. There's all these other references, and I fucking love all that shit. What else did you guys see in this that was self-referential? Oh, the disco bra and all that stuff.
Yeah, the disco bra. Tony is on the TV. There was a trumpet next to the disco bra that looks like her trumpet tattoo that Tony designed. There was the thing on the wall written on the top left corner of her bed, which might be another lyric from this particular album, which says, "I just need a dose of the right stuff." It's written in that same kind of font that she's been using for her Instagram posts in red makeup on the wall. And then a lot of people noticed that on the right-hand side of the upper part of the bed, there seems to be a sideways vinyl of some other album that we don't really recognize or see because, the photo quality isn't that amazing. But a lot of people are like, oh my God, is that the LG7 cover? And she's like kind of teasing it and hiding it in this picture.
Yeah, I immediately went online and ordered the exclusive, this cover that we're just talking about, vinyl, and the CD. So I can't wait to just have this in my hands and look at all the little Easter eggs. And then on the back of the standard vinyl, she's in a very like art pop like pose, which again is more self-referential. With the life preserver or whatever around her neck and looking up. And so I'm assuming you guys saw the art pop reference.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
yeah. The first thing I noticed when I saw that image.
I also wanted to mention that in the front cover, there is a book by her favorite poet, Rainer Maria Rilke, on the floor near the Joanne World Tour VHS.
Oh, that's her tattoo too, right?
Yes, she has a quote from him in her arm.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then, we also get to see the track list. And so a lot of us, I think, recognize some of these track titles. And at this point, we had talked about LG6.5 and we're like, oh, it's going to be like a 6-track EP and da-da-da-da. And it's like, no, baby, we're getting a full album.
That's what surprised me the most.
Yep, 13 tracks, 45 minutes.
And the spread of the vinyl and the inside, it's all just beautiful.
It really
like you said,
is.
Bling, it's really some of, if not her best album artwork yet.
Yeah, the art direction, the choice of color, everything's popping. I mean, it feels so good to be a Gaga fan right now because I just keep saying like she's matured, it's refined. It seems like she was really focused and didn't second guess herself a lot. Also in the vinyl, she's writing on the mirror Harlequin, and then to the right of that it says you're listening to Harlequin radio, so all of that ties in. And the last thing I want to say is one of the other promo images is her standing on the bed with her like blue stockings and facing the camera. It reminds me of that Eli Russell shoot years ago where she was just in like a bra, panties, and tights with that very intense eye makeup and the kind of crazy blonde wig. Some fans will know what I'm talking about, but that ended up never being used, and we were like, what is this for? And there was a couch behind her. We were like analyzing the couch, and anyway, so yeah, that's what it reminds me of, because she had those similar tights on. You guys don't remember that, like 2017?
I'll have to scroll back. The one I first thought of was the creepy pasta-esque photos, but I don't think those are the right ones.
I don't know.
Okay, so it should be mentioned that, so again, most of these are covers, but they're sung by Harley and Joker, but it seems like there's going to be completely different versions on this album. And then today we received news that there is a potential UK early listening party, which I think is happening right now. So
as we're recording this, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we're probably missing song snippets in the Discorder now, but it's okay.
Not yet. I just checked. Not yet.
Yeah, I keep checking. There's like some pictures of her, but I just put those in the Gaga updates thing. And
oh, she's at the party.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
So
that's
guys,
nice for them.
We're getting live updates, guys. So we'll mention those at the end of the show. But so basically the next day, which is today, this morning, I think it was like 9 a.m. London time for the London premiere, but she released a little bit over a minute long video of her at the Louvre, which we had mentioned in the podcast when it was filmed early September, and it features her new song, The Joker, which is a cover of Anthony Newley from 1964, the musical The Roar of Grease Paint, The Smell of the Crowd. The teaser also appears to hint at a Joker-themed special exhibition called Figures of the Fool, starting in October. And this track is the same instrumental as the Still Not October snippet, as well as the track that you guys heard in the intro. And I just want to say, number one, I'm obsessed with this track. She sounds so good. She sounds completely different. She kept on talking about finding a different voice for Lee, and I was like, yeah, okay, lady, whatever. Like, this sounds like a completely different person, and I'm so hyped for this album. And I have so much to say about this, but the last thing I want to say is that the first time I heard the song, and super fans will know what I'm talking about because this is even before the fame, it reminds me of her song Master Heartbreaker.
Oh yeah.
It's just very like dueling piano or dueling instrument, and it's giving me everything I need from her.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but yeah, now that you mentioned that, I mean, the thing that I noticed, like the little bit right before the chorus hits in the thing that she posted, reminded me a lot of the thing right before the chorus hits in Kesha's Joyride as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I heard. But no, Master Heartbreaker is actually her song, so that makes sense too.
I also need to ask, why did you release this snippet at like 3 a.m.? It was actually when I was editing the intro there, because I was playing around trying to do something fun. And then the moment I finished and posted it in the server, just like, hey, yeah, I just worked on something. And I came back to listen to, well, oh no, here's a full snippet with some vocals. And I was like, damn, middle of the night. I dig that.
Yep, she was waiting for you.
Well, I think it was 9 a.m. London time.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Sorry, my dog came to visit. Hello.
Yes, I could hear paws on the floor.
Yeah, I need you to lay down. Your paws are so loud.
Also today, and by today I mean the day of recording, was the London premiere of Joker Folie Deux. And so just like the Venice one, there was a big red carpet and Gaga had her outfit that we were all kind of waiting for. And this one was all red, kind of looks like a Cruella de Vil sort of kind of thin thing with a big puffer jacket. And she has the Harley Quinn kind of dark scarlet hair with black accents in it and light blue makeup on her eyes. And I don't know fashion, so that's the best way I can explain it.
Say it as it is.
Yeah. I mean, she looks really cool. She looks really good. It's like, if Harley herself was going to an event like this. And of course, she went with her fiance, Michael. And we got some more nice photos of them together as well. What do you guys think about the look before I get into comments that she made?
So the wig matches the alternate cover of the Vogue article.
That's right. Yeah.
Or Vogue issue, sorry, from earlier this year. And this bitch snuck that in, and I'm so shook. Like, she snuck in the look. And also too, in that Vogue image, it's like her eyes even look different. And so it's like when she switches into this character, it's like her eyes change. It's completely transformative. The look, the exaggerated shoulder pads, when she started, she was one of the ones that kind of brought that back into fashion. And so it's self-referential, but it's still this more mature version of Gaga. The makeup itself is very her David Bowie tribute look, but better. I think you might have mentioned this, but on the right side, she has that kind of tear effect or that makeup, again, reiterating the like duality. And yeah, this whole thing is so overwhelming, and I just think she looks amazing.
I mean, now that you mentioned the tear thing, this probably is not related to anything, but I know in certain cartels, they get tears tattooed under their eyes for every person that they've killed.
Oh, my stepbrother has 2 of those.
Oh.
Anyway. It's like, hi, did you know that I'm related to a murderer? Back to. I mean, so this lends into the personal idea that I have that in the movie, Harley will do something to Arthur Fleck. I've not seen the movie. This is not a spoiler. If it does happen, I'm sorry. This is just my hypothesis that I've seen from several interviews and things that I've kind of gotten. And now I'm choosing to lay into my own delulu by interpreting this in that particular way. But I mean, it's a possibility as far as this point in time.
It has been speculated by a lot of fans that could be the ending. Obviously, we don't know anything, so it's not a spoiler, like you said. But no, it is heavily speculated that she might him.
Yes, she might him.
Get the audio going out of distortion there.
Yeah, you're going to love editing that. So, as one does on red carpets, sometimes you do your poses or whatever, but also sometimes you'll have to go up to reporters and they'll ask you questions. And you have to give them, a minute and a half of your time, and then you move on. So one of the interviewers asked her what her inspiration was for creating Harlequin. Why did she do a companion album instead of something else? And Gaga said, when we were done with the movie, I wasn't done with her. So because of that, I made Harlequin. The record has many genres with original productions that are indicative of a complex woman that wants to be whoever she wants at any given moment. And I interpret that to be kind of like the crux of how and why she identified so much with Harley and why she couldn't get rid of the character, because so much of the character was her.
100%.
Yeah. And she also confirmed LG7's coming in February. Just really quickly.
I still don't believe.
I was going to say Bling has words about this, I'm pretty sure.
Full Delulu. So when you watch the interview, when she says, yes, it's coming in February, she looks away.
Oh boy.
And look, I am so looking forward to this, to Harlequin, but I don't know. I just have some feeling. On November 1st, let's talk. But just for funsies, I'm just going to say I think.
See, my view is that both 2024 Truthers and 2025 Truthers win, because an album is coming in both years.
I did want to mention really quickly that I know that, we're not publicly doing tea anymore, but I do find it interesting that...
I'm sorry. I laugh because Cal laughed.
I do find it interesting that the tea was saying an album was going to be released in September, and here we are with an album in September. So it makes you wonder if a lot of the information that we and other insiders received, because they were talking about the same thing, if that was actually regarding the secret project. We don't know.
Yeah, that makes the most sense. I mean, I laughed because the way you said that was funny. It's like, so I think it was interesting.
But damn, you guys. Yeah. Bling, actually, I'm just going to say, I totally was on board with the October surprise LG7 drop until Harlequin got announced. And now I feel like she's probably going to give this a few weeks at most to promote it, whatever. It's kind of companion with the film. So as the movie's out for a few weeks, LG7 first single, as she's calling it, not lead single, will come out. But yeah, I don't know. I'm content with that. With a February LG7 release now. Now with Harlequin coming out, this is just
Yeah, it makes it more palatable.
all the beans in my pocket right now, if that's even a phrase.
It is now.
I'm kind of just saying it for fun. I mean, I don't really believe anything is coming, but just for fun, I'm kind of like, let's just see what happens. But we do have to mention that as we were recording the podcast, number one, the London Harlequin listening party is going on, and new pictures of Gaga arriving in a literal stereotypical what you'd think Harlequin would wear with like the I don't know the pattern, but like the kind of checkerboard stockings and a different wig. It looks more David Bowie-ish. And yeah, so she's actually at the listening party right now as we're speaking, playing the album. So
Yeah, and Todd Phillips and Joaquin are there too.
oh, nice.
And apparently it's Michael's birthday.
Oh,
Happy birthday, Michael.
Birth.
We're not singing.
Well, if I were to sing, it would not come out as the happy birthday song. It would probably come out as a Katy Perry song. So I'm just going to stay quiet.
so before I say something, did you guys have anything else you wanted to add?
I did notice something.
Right.
There's two types of Quins. There's Joaquin and there's Harlequin.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I just noticed that when Billy was having trouble saying Joaquin's name earlier in the episode. I'm like, wait a minute.
What did I even call him?
I think you were going to say like Joaquin or I was like, no, wait, no.
Joaquin.
I think you were like having that trouble with like no, what name is this?
Yeah, I'm having I only speak English as an only language problem.
Yes. So yeah, Joaquin and Harlequin.
Good observation though. That's actually interesting.
Yeah, I posted it in the Gaga chat and got like 2 engagement thingies from it.
2 engagements.
Yes, 2 engagements.
But this is our season finale, so we just want to thank all of our listeners for coming on this ride with us. I know it's been a crazy journey through theories and reading into things, but we finally have content, and I'm so excited because you guys haven't really heard us dissect and review music. It's all been posts and information. So I'm super excited because our next podcast episode will be the season 2 premiere of the Haus of Delusion podcast. We're going to be reviewing in detail each track from Harlequin, our just overall reactions and thoughts. We're also having a live album listening and reaction party tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Pacific. This episode may or may not be out before then, but and then on Saturday we're having an album deep dive at 9 a.m. Pacific with our collaborator Freud, and we're going to be deep diving into everything and analyzing. Also this weekend we have our Joker 2019 screening to get us ready for next week. So lots of stuff coming up.
Yeah, we're busy. I mean, I'm just happy that, we reached the end of an era, right? An era of like little information and mostly speculation, and now we're getting into the real meat and potatoes of it all. And I'm glad I could make it from Antarctica to join you here in the real world where there's good audio quality. And that, Billy could go to France and back to investigate things.
I was looking for evidence.
Yes, looking for evidence. We've had a couple of really great guest spots here over this season, and I guess we'll see what next season brings.
End of a pre-era.
Yes.
As always, you guys, thank you so much for joining us today. If you like what you heard, I mean, there was a lot here. And as Cal said and as Bling said, we've made it. We are finally entering the official LG6.5 era. It isn't LG7 like we expected, but an era, yeah. We're somewhere, but we're all happy with it, and we're super hyped for it. So if you like what you heard today, please rate us on Spotify. Give us 5 stars, please, because I want to see that number go up. But if for some reason you hate us, just leave a comment of what you don't like. And of course, we can try to take that to heart and work on that too. Also, don't forget to join the Discord server. Once again, that's discord.gg/Haus of Delusion, and you can find the link in the description of wherever you're listening today. And the server is where all of the action happens, and right now, as the UK listening party's happening, well, we're getting live updates in there, so you don't want to miss future events like this in the future. But with that being said, go listen to Harlequin if it's out by now, and keep staying Delulu.
If you liked what I said, my name is Bling. If you didn't like what I said, my name is Cal.
Shut up. Thank you. If you like what I said, my name is Cal. If you didn't like what I said, my name is Katy Perry.
I'm every woman.
That's Shaka Khan.